let's just look at the e to the x, and then I'll come back to this next one. Again, guys, this is what we're going to spend all next week doing. OK? We'll spend all next week doing this from the very basics. But over here, guys, we realize we can't solve for y, right? We can't solve initially for y. But we can take the derivative. So if I'm going to take the derivative of y with respect to x, that's going to be dy over dx. Over here, the derivative is going to be e to the xy times the product rule here, which is going to be derivative of x is going to be 1 times y plus x times dy dx. Right? And again, this kind of comes to the same thing what we were talking about. This is just a condensed version of this. If we need to get dy dx to the same side, I can't subtract the dy dx because that dy dx is being multiplied by e to the 2x. Does that make sense? So you have to distribute here. So you get a dy over dx is going to equal y e to the xy plus x e to the xy dy dx. Well, now I can get my dy dx to the same side. Yes?
Did you have ln both sides there?
Yeah, sure. No, that would be the easier. I'm just kind of explaining. I'm showing this just again as a different example. Yeah, taking the ln on both sides would probably be the easiest thing, right? Because then you just have the xy and dy dx and multiply it. But what I'm doing is this was like the interior of that other problem. That's why I'm kind of covering it the steps. But yeah, taking the ln on both sides would be the fastest and easiest. And then we subtract x to the e to the xy, dy dx on both sides.